Good morning. Who we got here? Lead dog, John Setti. Cool. Morning. Thanks for joining me. Uh, no, I'm not going to drink a beer this morning. Texas, Portugal, Sonoma County. That's so rad. Yeah, I'm not going to drink a beer this morning or two beers or any beers. And I did buy some orange juice and I have this bottle of sparkling wine that's been in my fridge since New Year's Eve that I'd never drank, and I thought, "Oh, I'll make some mimosas." No, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I have shit to do when this is all done today, so no, I'm not gonna be drinking, but I am gonna drink some coffee. So just, let me pour myself some coffee. Oh, yeah, look at that. Atlanta, Portugal. That's so cool. I've got an agenda. But all of y'all, I want you to think of some questions because I do want to make this kind of a live Q&A, but I have an agenda as well. Let me pour some coffee here. I just put a bunch in this guy because who knows how long this is going to go. Appreciate y'all showing up here this morning. I did like a test run yesterday because I've never done a live streaming YouTube thing before, so this is new for me. I know people do it all the time, but I haven't done it. And I just kind of wanted it to go off without a hitch. Beer. um, I wanted to go off without a hitch, and please let me know how it sounds because I'm basically using my Lumix S1 Mark II as a webcam. You can do that via USB-C, and I have 35 millimeter lens on there. And then I've had this Yeti mic for a long time since the pandemic. This was given to me during the pandemic. I directed a series of I don't know, a branded content series right in the middle of the pandemic, all via Zoom in this office. It was crazy. And the advertising agency sent me this Yeti mic. So I had a good mic to talk on. And I rarely use it, but I think it was the Yeti mic I was trying to figure out how am I going to do the audio? I want it to sound good. And there was, different options, but it was like I would test it and then I would test it again and it would crash. It would crash the whole system. So let's hope it doesn't do that. Let me see. What do we got here for comments? Sounds good. Clean and clear. That's good. Walnut Creek, San Francisco. Man, we got people from all over. This is so cool. I'm in color, not black and white. What's up with that? So I did a test run yesterday and I just went live and some people hopped on for like 10 minutes or whatever. And just a couple of people were like, yeah, you should do it in black and white. And, but not all my videos are in black and white. Like I think less than half. So I honestly, I like this thing. Like I like the kind of warmth of it and I don't know. I like it. So that's what we're doing. Sorry. Maybe next time I'll go black and white. Black and white is pretty dope. Dude, how's it going from the UK? It's going good. Man, I want to go to the UK so bad. 21 people. That's pretty cool. So I want to talk about, and I was actually had this outline to make a whole video about it, and I don't think I'm going to. I'm just going to talk about it in this live session before I answer some questions. I've had some crazy life changes, in that, I've worked in film and television. That's all I've done for almost 2 decades. So, as that industry has shrunk, my freelance work in that industry has shrunk too, which is painful, especially when you're, deep into a career. It shrunk a lot more for a lot more people than me. So I was doing better than a lot of people, but still less than I used to be doing. Anyways, so this other opportunity presented itself as late last year as like a full-time big project to do outside of film and television, but using a lot of my skills that I've developed over the years, decades, life. And so I jumped on it. And that's what I've been doing this whole year. And it's cool, but it's so challenging, you guys. It's so challenging. It's like starting over almost. Like I have to do a lot of things that while they're parallel and, tangential to my skill set, they're also very new, and just like simple things like making a freaking Excel spreadsheet is really hard. I have to do that sometimes, and it's hard. It's hard for me. My brain doesn't work that way, and I don't have those skills. So, but it does involve storytelling and marketing and communication and that kind of stuff. Um, but it's been uncomfortable. It's been inspiring and cool sometimes, and invigorating, but mostly uncomfortable. Um, and not even in like a, oh, this is cool kind of way, like uncomfortable, which I'm okay with. I'm pretty good being uncomfortable. But for a sustained period, it's challenging. It's very challenging. One thing that I decided that I would do right at the beginning when I realized, okay, I need to change my media diet. I think your media diet and what you're putting into through your visual cortex into the frontal lobe of your brain, or whatever lobe of your brain that is doing the creative stuff, or that is, just doing all the things. It's like you need to curate your attention. And so that's what I've done. And I made like a reading list of books I want to read. Okay, I'm going to read these kind of books, and I'm going to focus on these kind of things. I'm going to limit. I have definitely limited my social media, dialed it way back. That's a whole other topic. Maybe we'll talk about that in the future. Not today, but social media is weird. Like, it's basically, it's making me burp. It's not the same as it was 2, 3, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Social media has changed. I don't even know if it's effective. I don't even know if it's worth your while anymore. It kind of is. That's where a lot of relationships exist. I don't know. That's a whole other topic. I'm not getting into that today, but I've dialed that way back. I've stopped posting on social media almost 100%. Stopped looking at it most of the time. Occasionally, I get on there and I check DMs and check messages from people. There's companies and people that I interact with there. That's where we communicate. But all that is to say, and then um, I made a list of a bunch of nonfiction books that I need to read, just to kind of help my brain adjust to this new mode of being, this new way of being creative, this new sort of role that I have. I'm going to pause for a minute and see if there's anything I need to address in the comments here. Sounds good. Nee, nee, nee. Watching UK. Cool. A lot of people from the UK. That's cool. So I made this list of books, and I decided that I was going to be very focused in my media diet. And I'm going to be reading certain things. I'm going to be ingesting certain things. I'm going to be reading certain news outlets. I'm just going to curate what I put in, and hope that that influences and supports my output. Does that make sense? Hopefully. So I made a whole list of books. I used AI to kind of, hey, give me a list of books in this area and what are some things I should look at, and boom, and it's pretty cool. It's like, who needs Google search anymore? You can just use Gemini or Claude or ChatGPT or whatever. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. I'm learning how to use AI better, and I think it's really helped me. So, but the first book that I started reading way back in January, I finished it, I don't know, more than a month ago. But man, I picked up this book and I was just like, whoa, dude. I started reading it, and then I'm just like highlighting almost every other page. And then I was like, dude, this whole book's highlighted. It's on my Kindle, by the way. So I don't actually have a highlighter. But and then I was just like taking my phone and going and like screenshotting certain pages. Snap's taking a picture of pages. Um Whatever. I'm like, I need to remember this. This is good stuff. It's this book called The Practice by Seth Godin, who's a marketer. He's like a marketing guru. Seth said, I've never read any of his books. don't read his blog. He's had like one of the longest running, most successful blogs in history. Like I think he puts a post up there every single day. This guy's output is incredible. But I've listened to Seth on different podcasts and things. He's super cool. He actually just has he's got a really interesting, cool vibration to his voice. There's a certain frequency coming off of him that's cool. It's calming. And you can hear that frequency when you read the book. So, anyways, this book is called The Practice, and it's about shipping creative work. Shipping creative work. What does that mean? It means finishing creative work. It means making stuff. It's just a book about making stuff. It's called The Practice. I highly recommend it. I'm going to read this morning, an hour ago, and I'm like, I should read a couple quotes from these books that have impacted me over the last couple months. And I was flipping through it and I'm like, dude, I could read any freaking page from this whole book and it'd be just fine and relevant. But I did hone in on this one point. So I'm going to read this to you before we get into this too deeply. This is from early in the book. It's time to find your voice. You can find the way forward, a path towards making a difference. There is a method, but it has no fixed steps. There is a strategy, but the tactics don't really matter. There is a process, but it doesn't always work. The practice that is open to us always works better than anything else we could try. Take the time to see what's worked before. Watch the creative heroes around us who have raised their hands, taken the lead, and created something that matters again and again. The work falls into a pattern, often containing counterintuitive twists and turns. You can start where you are, you can see, and you can be seen. You can listen, and you can be heard. And you can do the work that you were born to do. Sometimes we opt for more instead of better. Better is better than more. There's so much. The thing about Seth and his writing is he like is able to distill things and cram so much into a few words, right? And you just go, yes, this just applies across to so many different things creatively, relationships, just good life advice. Sometimes we opt for more instead of better, but better is better than more. Yeah, that's so cool. You know, I'm certainly trying to do that in my own life, especially now that I have less bandwidth for personal things, including this YouTube channel, by the way. That's why we're doing this live, because it's real easy for me. The barrier of entry is quite easy. But I, especially being freelance for so many years, I'm just trying to do all the things all the time, because all the things you're trying to do, especially when you're ideating, when you're trying to develop things, they don't always work. Actually, a vast majority of them don't. So you're just throwing a lot of stuff at the wall to try and make things stick. And are you doing all these things as good as you could? Definitely not. And I guess me personally, I'm just in this phase of like, okay, I'm going to do less, but I'm going to do more with less. I'm going to make the less things that I do better. And I certainly hope that that begins to take shape here on this little YouTube channel, but then across some other things that I'm trying to do outside of just my 9 to 5 job that I have now. It's actually not 9 to 5. It's like a lot of the time, but that's okay. It's great. It's great. So if that interests you, if you're serious about creative work, if you're serious about maybe just needing a little more focus or a little more context or a little bit more fuel for your creative fire, I highly recommend The Practice by Seth Godin. And I probably will return to it again on the channel here, and I probably will read more from the book. There's one other book that I want to reference that I finished after The Practice. And I was just because I'm doing so many new things in this new role, Um, sometimes you lose sight. You can't see the forest through the trees, or whatever that saying is. You just pulled in all these different directions that are uncomfortable, that are, you're just sort of out of sorts. And I'm like, I need some kind of like some Zen wisdom here or something to sort of like refocus my mind. Um, like, look, I think that's why I run a lot. That's why I'm trying to get outside. I take a walk every morning. I run in the hills a few times a week. I've started running again. It's really good. But again, this is really just about curating my media diet, reading things that are going to help support the creative work that I'm trying to do, because I do have a creative job. It's just different than what I've done before. This book is called, oh shoot, what is this book called? No, I lost my bookmark. Here it is. What is this book actually called? It's called Stillness Speaks by Eckhart Tolle. I've read one of Eckhart Tolle's books, like probably 25 years ago, or more than 20 years ago. It was called The Power of Now, which was a very influential, inspirational book. I probably should read that again, but I haven't read anything from him since. And this book popped up, and it's like a really quick read. And I thought, well, let's just see what this is about, and if this can help me in this time. From Stillness Speaks by Eckhart Tolle. The human mind, in its desire to know, understand, and control, mistakes its opinions and viewpoints for the truth. It says, this is how it is. You have to be larger than thought to realize that however you interpret your life or someone else's life or behavior, however you judge any situation, it is more than a viewpoint, one of many possible perspectives. It is no more than a bundle of thoughts, but reality is one unified whole in which all things are interwoven, where nothing exists in and by itself. Thinking fragments reality. It cuts it up into conceptual bits and pieces. The thinking mind is a useful and powerful tool, but it's also very limiting when it takes over your life completely, when you don't realize that it is only a small aspect of the consciousness that you are. Wisdom is not a product of thought. The deep knowing that is wisdom arises through the simple act of giving someone or something your full attention. Attention is primordial intelligence, consciousness itself. It dissolves the barriers created by conceptual thought, and with this comes the recognition that nothing exists in and by itself. It joins the perceiver and the perceived in a unifying field of awareness. It is the healer of separation. Whenever you are immersed in compulsive thinking, you are avoiding what is. You don't want to be where you are, here, now. Another book that you really could just open any page and read the page and probably find something useful that could apply somewhere to whatever you're doing in your life. Pretty cool. Okay, what do we got here? Doing better. I have those books. Super cool. Try reading The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. Personal recommendation. I'm going through something similar right now. The obstacle is the way. That is the wisdom, actually, right? The thing that you're avoiding is like the key. That's the treasures. You just have to go headfirst into those things that are uncomfortable, into those things that are difficult. And that's how you pass through them. You can't avoid things. You can't really avoid anything. And nor should you try. I appreciate these thoughts. Is this a question, doing better or doing for me? I'm sorry, I'm reading this in really small type. I should have upped the text on my freaking laptop here. That's what I wanted to start off talking about. What time is it? Oh, dude, we've already burned 20 minutes. See, I'm so long-winded. We got 30 people here. Let's just open this up to questions, and let's get into that. I know when I first made a post about this, a lot of people popped up questions, and people put questions all the time in the comments. And sometimes I can answer them, sometimes I don't. But that's what this is about. Like, let's do this live. Let's just do it live. So anybody's got anything, throw it in there right now. Yeah. What do you want to know? What can I tell you? What are you struggling with? What's coming up on Adventure and Art? I'll talk about that until we get into some good questions. I'm trying to do, I feel like I've said this a lot, but even after having a YouTube channel for 5 years, and I sort of just have, the vibe that I do, I have the kind of stuff that I do, I feel like I'm still beginning at it and trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. And I am sort of excited to maybe be in this phase where maybe I definitely put out less stuff, but mostly just more of the kind of stuff that I want to put out. Probably less gear focused stuff, probably more, a lot of me walking around with a camera, maybe doing some portrait shoots occasionally, maybe less of that, maybe more exploratory stuff. I did have a video ready to go like for mid last week, and I spent all last weekend making it, shot it, edited it, worked my tail off last weekend, spent the whole weekend pretty much doing that, or at least all of Saturday. I work pretty fast, but it was for this new lens that's coming out that I've had for over a month actually, and it's a really dope lens. I actually really like it, and I like the video. I like the photos that are in it. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to show everybody this. And it was supposed to be released mid last week, and then like a couple days before, I'm like, okay, so the release date still blah 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 date. They're like, oh no, we pushed that back a month. I'm like, oh. So now I worked my butt off all weekend last weekend to make this video for you guys, and I can't even show you literally for a month now. It's like it won't even be ready. So now I got to sit on it, and then I was like, it just left me kind of hanging. Now I don't have a video to put up because I'm so busy all the time. Okay, questions. That's my struggle. That's this freaking stupid YouTube struggle, which why I'm telling you that story is I'm going to try and get out of that rat race. I don't want anybody else's timeline. I don't need anybody else's timeline. I don't need to be making videos so I can get a free lens. I don't care. It's like a $600 lens. Who cares? If I really want it, I'll go buy it. Like the amount of effort and time it takes me to make a video for a $600 lens, what my time is actually worth professionally in the real world, it's like, this doesn't make sense. Why would I do this? Who cares? If I really want it, I'll just go buy it. And now I have all the time in the world, right? So there's that. I'm not some 22-year-old kid just trying to collect gear. I don't care. Having said that, sometimes things come along and they're really cool, and I'm like, yeah, send me that. I want to try it out. Maybe it's worth it. So it's not black and white. It's not hard and fast. I don't know. Maybe occasionally I will talk about something if somebody wants to send me something to try out, which does happen. There's a few companies that I really like, and maybe, but probably less of that, you guys. Who freaking cares? It's not about the gear anyways. And yes, you put the name of like some kind of hot new gear in the title of the video. Maybe you get more clicks on my channel historically. No. So is it worth it? No. All right, let's see if we got some questions here. Can you share more specifically what role you're doing, what you're doing with cameras? You mean in, okay. I'm going to adjust this so I can see this a little better. I wonder if I go, I don't want to, oh yeah, I can make the text bigger. There we go. In my new job, I can't. I'm doing like branding and marketing basically for a brand new company. And, I haven't done a ton of the branding marketing part yet, but we're going to get into that. And that's all I'm going to say. Maybe in the future, you'll know more about it. There will be some filmmaking involved. There has already a little bit. I've shot some things, and we're going to do some more things. And I have big plans, but it's really cool. It's really cool, cutting edge stuff. But that's all I can say. Deep NDAs. Your videos give me the inspiration to get out every day and take photos on a daily photo walk, observe the beauty in nature. And in my city, Philadelphia, I want to go to Philly. That's cool. I'm glad to hear that. I remember a while ago listening to you, Mark Twain, and possibly Trevor Thompson speaking about disposable cameras. You mentioned having one in your car. Did you ever go out with them? Those guys are my friends. I haven't seen them in a long time. Um, I don't have a disposable camera in my car currently, but yeah, I have friends, and sometimes we'll go out and just buy a bunch of disposable cameras and have fun because, whatever, grown ass men shooting disposable cameras for fun. Yeah, go figure. I'm sure you were all speaking about Dennis Hopper's photography. Oh, that was a while back. That was good. Yeah. Dennis Hopper. Dude, that guy was such a cool photographer, such a cool artist, right? Do you and Dwight still talk? You guys both inspire me to start taking photos again. Haven't in a long time, but whatever. We're just live a long ways apart. Yeah. I tend to avoid videos on kit. I am more interested in what you do, examples of how to approach actually taking photos. Cool. Good. Are you still interested in doing a zine? Yes, I am. And it was my big plan to do that this year, and it's still there. It's just that I realized, holy crap, my bandwidth is constrained. I want to. I have something sort of mocked up. It's going to take a lot of steps. Actually, the hard part about doing a zine and selling it and all that is like just the business back end of like figuring out, okay, I got to come up with a payment structure. I got to figure out a way to deliver all this. I could make a zine in a weekend. That wouldn't be a problem. It's really just sitting down and figuring out the technicals of how to sell it. That's why I actually really haven't sold anything on my channel or done that, because I just haven't wanted to spend the time to do that, because that's this part that's not fun and it's hard for me. Yeah, but I do want to do a zine. Uh, I was originally thinking I'm going to do 2 this year, because I do have a whole concept and a timeline and a structure for what these things could be. I'm still going to try and do 1. Thank you for the reminder. Hey, I'm almost 30, doing great at my job, but I'm thinking about doing something serious with photography and starting a family. I feel overwhelmed by the age threshold. How would you juggle these? Okay, doing something serious with photography, you have to define that. What does that mean? Something serious. Do you want to do a photographic project? Great. Then then look at your limitations, prioritize. Okay, prioritize. Well, okay, you want to start a family. Family is your priority. Family should be your priority over everything. If it's not, you're probably not going to have a family very long, or you're going to, it's just not. Look, your family needs to be your priority. That's all I got to say about that. So, outside of that, how much bandwidth do you have? And what does something serious mean? Does that mean you want to actually do a project? Does it mean you want to make a book or a zine? You want to do a gallery show? You want to sell some prints? Like, what is serious? Or you just want to create something and put it on social media? You want to create a website? You want to display it somehow? Whatever serious means, figure out what that is. Figure out what your bandwidth is, what your limitations are. By the way, your limitations are the key to your creativity. So it's fine. So yeah, just figure out your constraints, figure out what you want to do, and prioritize and execute, as Jocko Willing says. That's all it is. Prioritize and execute. Lead dog, that's good, but don't give up your day job unless you get some time and experience under the belt. Good. Yes, good advice. When doing still photography, what are some of the considerations you use for lens choice? Do you have a favorite, and why? Depends on what I'm doing. Depends on what kind of photography. If I'm just walking around, I like a 35. I don't know. What I do is I like prime lenses. If I'm doing portraits, I like a 50 or an 85, generally an 85. I like a long lens portrait. I like to throw the background out of focus. If I'm just walking around, it could be anything. Oh, maybe today I'll use a 50. Oh, maybe today I'll use a 35. Maybe today I'll use a 15 millimeter. Walking around, it's just like, oh, let's just embrace this and see how that opens up my creativity. And if I'm shooting a 35 for a number of weeks, then I'll switch it up just because I want to do something different. I have, well, it's sitting right here because I started using this again. This is a GH7 with a super long, what is this zoom lens? I should know this. It's on here. It's like a 200, which ends up being a 400. Lately, I've been walking with that in the morning and shooting ravens and crows. Spoiler alert, I want to do a whole zine, not the first one, but maybe the second one, which is all about all these raven crow shots that I've taken over the last couple years. And I walk this route every morning, and a few times a month I'm carrying that long lens, and I just have so much fun sniping shots of these ravens and crows and sometimes other critters. Um, I think eventually I'm going to do maybe a print project, a zine project, something big with these. I have big ideas. They really inspire me. These birds are cool. So anyways, just depends on, lens choice just depends on how you see the world and what you want to shoot. There's no right or wrong answer. What do you like? What do you like? What feels right for you? You can put on different lenses, and some of them you're just like, oh, this it just clicks. It's weird. It's like you like certain food. You'll like a certain focal length. Within a certain focal length, you'll like a certain brand more. And sometimes you can't even intellectualize the difference. I tend to like messier, less perfect lenses a lot. Like I like a little bit of distortion. I like weird fringing in the corners. I like just strange, I like character in my lenses. So I don't like clinically sharp, boring lenses. Um, which I think a lot of the big manufacturers, I think their lenses are kind of boring. I think as perfect as like a lot of I mean, this is stupid. I haven't used them all, but I think every time I've used some professionally, like I've um professionally a lot of times doing some of the TV work we shoot with Sony cameras, FX6s a lot and things. And so you end up with if you're not using cine lenses or whatever, you end up with, like Sony G Master lenses will come with the kit. And I always just found them really uninspiring and boring. That's me. If that's what you're using, that's great. They're certainly high quality. They're certainly high quality. I, quality is not always the thing that I'm looking for. Sharpness is not always the thing I'm looking for. So, anyways, that's me. But whatever you choose, it's not wrong because it's what you've chosen. So choose. Actually, this video that I was just mentioning that I didn't get to put up, I had a whole rant at the beginning about choosing. And I took it out because I wanted to keep the thing shorter. I didn't want it to be that long. And I'm like, this rant deserves to be somewhere else. But, my thesis is, what do we really have to offer as artists, as photographers, as filmmakers, as creatives? The only thing we really have is choice. So own your choices. Choose. Oh man. Okay, you guys are asking some stuff. Hey, I'm almost 30. Okay, how would you family? Do we still figure out what are some of the considerations? Lens choice. Love the festival videos. Just shot my first professional concert video this week. Hell yeah, I'm in my 50s. Hell yeah, it's so fun. I love shooting live music. Hey, Ben, big fan from Athens, Georgia. Can you talk about how you go about capturing moments for things like personal trips with family friends to create a story video compilation memory? I'm not so good at that. I'm not so good at the family, personal, friends stuff. Usually take a camera, usually take a few trips, usually try not to think about it too much because then it feels like work. If a certain event is happening or I'm like, oh, this is a thing, then like the story wheels start kicking into gear and grinding and turning. And I'm like, oh, there's a story here. And then it's just muscle memory and it's instinct and it's unavoidable. Then you just do it. It just kicks in. It's like, oh, this is what I do. But I don't think about it a lot. And I almost never think, oh yeah, I'm going here with family or friends or something, and this is what I'm gonna do. Um, Almost never. And usually, I mean, I certainly could come up with more focused, better work in those areas if I did, but it's just a lot of times I won't even bring a camera just because I want to be present and be in the middle of something. I usually regret that, by the way, but sometimes. So it's back and forth. But you have to decide how you want to engage with your family, what level of what level of documentation you want to do. Maybe you really do want to do that, and that's important to you. When my daughter was born, which was in 2001, I had a digital camera back then, the first digital camera I ever had, which is a Nikon 990, and I took thousands of pictures of her, like very well documented. I haven't looked at those pictures in decades, but a couple decades at least. They're all like on a I burned them all onto a DVD or something. I think I have those DVDs somewhere. I think I've actually pulled them off and put them onto a newer hard drive. I should go through those and look at them. I bet that'd be pretty cool. It is cool to look back like years later. So, children and things like that. I only have one kid, but children and things, it's cool to document them growing up. And I certainly try to do that with my daughter. But now I'm just like when I go on trips with friends and family, a lot of times I'm just trying to be in the moment. I love some Jocko. Yeah, Jocko's the man. Are you looking forward to any new cameras that might be announced at NAB? I'm hoping I go to NAB. I'm thinking of going to NAB. I kind of need to for my new job. I actually need to hone in on that. That's coming up in like a month, right? You picked up a GH7. I have a GH5 with a speed booster. Speed booster on Micro Four Thirds is freaking awesome. I should read the rest of this before I comment. And use old Canon FD mount lenses on it, which are very affordable. Looks great. You might like something similar. Yeah, that's great. I did this documentary. I started it. Actually, I was deep in the middle of starting it exactly 10 years ago. I've been thinking about doing an archive series on the channel where I talk about some older work, but I did this documentary. I spent 3 years on it. Finished it in 2018. It was actually right at the beginning of that documentary when I was seriously thinking about I had got all this camera equipment for this doc, and I was thinking I should just do a YouTube channel as well, and I didn't. And I kind of wish I had now, but it wouldn't have been this, so maybe it was good to wait. I don't know. Anyways, that's when I first started thinking about doing content. Um, but I spent 3 years, well, a good part of 2 years shooting it, and then it took a long time to post the thing. I did everything myself. It's cool. You can see the trailer on my website if you want to go there. It's called Starbound. But I had a GH4 and I wanted to make this doc in 4K. And back then there was very few, prosumer level cameras without getting a big expensive camera that you could shoot in 4K. And the GH4 was the first one. So I had a GH4 and I got a speed booster and I was using Nikon lenses on it. And I think that speed booster on a Micro Four Thirds is kind of a game changer. Actually, you just made me think, why haven't I gotten a speed booster again so I could have that on my GH7 and then have like, dude, there's actually, I think now I just want to go do that right now. I want to get a speed booster again. Dude, you really got me thinking. It's so good. Anyways, you add just the extra light gathering and then you can use more of the lens, and it's just like on a Micro Four Thirds with the speed booster. It is freaking awesome, and especially with the slow motion capability of the newer cameras and things. Oh, game changer. I don't even use my GH7 that much, but I really love that camera. I think it's an amazing camera. I just think everybody's so into full frame and stuff, and I guess to a degree I am too. But man, the GH7 is so good. Just used on some pretty big films and stuff. Anyways, let's see where are we at. What happened to the Fuji GFX? That was a beast. Man, that Fuji GFX video I made where I just used it for like 10 days or something, that is right now the video in the archives that's getting all the views. So I don't know. I mean, the, I know the, I got to know the local Fuji guy who's the cine rep, and he lent me the camera for 10 days, and I haven't had it since, and I haven't really talked to him much since. And I think Fuji's an awesome company. I think they're great. If I wasn't associated with Lumix, I'm still sort of an ambassador for them. I would want to be professionally aligned with Fuji. I think their cameras are amazing. I think that GFX is freaking amazing. It's big and it's heavy. I love that camera. I think about it a lot. It's expensive. So, do I want to go out and buy one? Not really. Low key, where I'm at with cameras right now is like for video and things, I want to keep my S1 Mark II, maybe the GH7. For my serious photography, I actually do want a medium format camera, and I really want to try a Hasselblad XD2 Mark II. Not that I have gear acquisition syndrome or anything. I just, after shooting the GFX, I really like those files. I like the size. I like the megapixels. I like the detail. Why the Hasselblad then instead of the GFX? I bet you they're pretty comparable in terms of image quality. I'm not looking for video in a medium format camera. I don't care. The S1 Mark II does all the video things I could possibly want. Hasselblad, a little smaller, lighter body. Lenses, a little bit smaller. Actually, some of them not quite as fast as some of the Fuji lenses, I think. The way, if you stack them up, I've really looked at it. You know, you get in B&H when you can compare things. That's pretty cool. But what I like about the Hasselblad is it doesn't even do video. Yeah, great. I don't need that. I don't need that. I just want the best freaking image possible. And so the Hasselblad medium format really, really, really intrigues me. Now, obviously, I wouldn't go buy one, but I really want to try one out. I don't know anybody at Hasselblad. They haven't reached out. I've tried to get a hold of people, but I just haven't tried hard enough, and I don't know anybody. I really want to demo one and run it through kind of the same thing that I did with the Fuji, just spend like a week or two and just shoot freaking everything. Because the truth is, like, man, I used the heck out of that thing in like 10 days. Like, there's not a lot of people on YouTube doing that breadth of work in that short a time at that level. There, I said it. I'm pretty proud of that stuff. And there's even shoots I did. You saw a little taste of. I could make whole other videos out of stuff I shot in there, and I just haven't done that because I don't know, whatever, whatever. All the Fuji videos always got a lot of views on the channel, but I like Fuji. I've been really looking at one of those. What is the name of that camera? It's like the X100, the one with the fixed lens, but it's just like that, but you can change the lenses. Is it like the XE? EX? I don't know the freaking Fuji cameras. Like, I don't care. I'm not one of these dudes that just knows all the different brands. But I've been looking at that going, that might be a pretty cool walk around camera. You can change lenses. It's like a little rangefinder type camera, really small. It's a crop sensor. Who cares? You can get some fast manual lenses for it. I've actually been thinking about maybe just as a walk around camera, put in a big pocket. That might be pretty cool. Also, wouldn't mind trying out like the X Pro 3, which is like the bigger rangefinder style camera. Still a crop sensor, not medium format. I don't know. Fuji's really interesting to me in that they just kind of do their own thing, and they're not trying to model their cameras off of some template that everybody else uses. I like that. I think it's cool. And I always, when I used the GFX, was super stoked about the images. Okay. Those are my thoughts. Let me go back to some questions over here. GFX. One thing I do is I do this speedometer. Sometimes I use an old Mamiya 645 lenses. It's all manual, but I prefer that when just taking relaxed pics and video. Cool. That's cool. I've heard those Mamiya 645 lenses are dope. Yeah, speed booster, medium format lenses, old manual. I love old manual lenses. One of the next videos coming out, I've talked about this for a while, is going to be the Helios. I've got a whole book that I made. Where is that? Oh, it's right here. There's my Helios book. Check this out. It's just like, it's a lot of work for me. It's just like a pain in the ass to kind of set up a camera to look at the book. But this is like a great way to show pictures. And yeah, I made this last year, at the end of last year. So I've had this for a few months. Ooh, I have a whole Helios book. And anyways, yeah. Sorry, speed booster. XE5. Yes, that's the one. That XE5 looks dope. I kind of want to rent one or borrow one or try it out just as a small pocketable camera. FYI, I learned about you from 1 year M4 3 videos. I shoot full frame and micro four thirds. Yeah, dude. Hello from Gloucestershire. Did I say that right? Gloucestershire? A lot of England people. So I'm glad I did this early so that you folks across the pond could get on. Have you used the actual X106? No. Curious about your thoughts. Sorry if I might have missed it. No, I haven't. There's this, I'm working in Alaska a lot for this new job, and the camera shop there rents the X106. And next time I go up there, I'm going to rent it for a week because they have one, and I'm going to try it out. And I'm excited about that actually. Um, and I think based on how that X106 is, how I like it, that may determine if I actually get an XE5, if I really want to. I don't know. I don't know if I really want to. I've got Micro Four Thirds. I've got these Lumix L mount. I'm very happy with those. What I really want now, just for I want to do a serious portrait project, and I wanted to shoot medium format. So getting a crop sensor, small walk around camera, I don't know. I mean, that'd be cool to have. Do I need it? Do I want to spend the money there? And not really. Yeah, what I really want, and this is in the new video, so you guys get to see this first since you're here, but I really want one of these with a viewfinder. This is a Lumix S9. I really want one of these with a viewfinder. I want this size of camera because then I can put a small prime on it. And the only thing really available is like a Leica M EV1. Those are freaking $9,000. Who like, that's stupid. And I don't know. My personal creative relationship with Leica is complicated. I really think their cameras are cool. I like how stripped down and minimal they are. I like how durable they are. They're way too expensive. I wish there was, I think Fuji's the only company that has something that's even similar to what they do in terms of like a digital rangefinder. But my problem with Leica actually is, like, I know a lot of people and I've seen a lot of information online, Reddit and things, and I've experienced this myself, is the cameras, I think the quality of them does not measure up to the freaking price, yo. That's what I think. I've seen a lot of people have trouble with them. They freeze up, they have mechanical things go wrong. New, expensive $9,000 rangefinders. And then you got to send it back. Then you're out of camera for a while. That's unacceptable for a camera that expensive. It's unacceptable. So, yeah, but I like them. I like the digital M cameras, and an M with an EV and an EVF. Yeah, I kind of want one of those, but I'm not going to go spend $9,000-$10,000 for one. Why? But I like having that size of camera. Even M mount, I could put M mount. Yeah, just dude, adapt all kinds of other manual lenses to it. Walk around, have a good high quality EVF. That's what I want. So Lumix, just give me that in this. Just make it a teeny bit bigger. Put an EVF on it. I would pay $3,000 for that. Like a good pro, like in this pro level camera in this size with an EVF, I'd pay $4,000 for it. Easy, right now. I'd go buy one right now. I want that so bad because I want a small, light walk around camera. Oh, I can't. Yeah. Anyways, a lot of this stuff is in this video that's coming out in a month now. Hi, I'm late, but here I am. Dude, we got 40 people watching right now. Sony A7C II has a little bit of a grip, but otherwise it sounds like what you want from the S9. Yeah, I've looked at that. I've owned a lot of Sony cameras, owned a couple different A7S Mark IIs, owned an A7R Mark III. Danny had an A7 Mark III that I used actually on the channel a lot for a lot of years early on. I used it for video. I used it for stills. Just borrow that from her. Yeah, yes, that would fit the needs. I'm not I don't vibe with these Sony cameras. I don't vibe with the interface. I don't vibe with the way the buttons lay out. I don't vibe with the menus. And I know, yeah, it's not going to work for me. It's not going to work for me. But you're right. should try the TT Artisan 75 1.5. It's a fun lens. Is that the swirly bokeh one? Because I had that and I just got rid of it. They sent it to me. It's like there's a video on it. Yeah. And also they're like the auto, I had their autofocus one too. They're like, is that what you're talking about? The 75 millimeter? I got rid of that too. They're just small and like it was okay. I never used it and I'm like, here, somebody have it. An actual question then, do you think it is possible to build a relationship with Lumix without being an influencer in this day and age? I've been shooting their M43 gear for 10 years professionally. Yeah, I do think it's possible. And I think Lumix generally is fairly accessible. And they want to, I don't know. I mean, maybe without being an influencer. They're heavily into social media and influencers and that kind of thing. But if you are a professional, you have some good examples of professional work and some good use cases, send me an email, send me your stuff. I can certainly pass it on to if it's appropriate to people I know at Lumix. The few people that I deal with there on a regular basis are like the best people. They're great. It's great. And I'm whether I continue using Lumix cameras or not, well, I have no reason to think that I won't, but whether I do or not, these people are my friends and they'll always be my friends. And I'm a fan of what they do. And I'm a fan of what Lumix is doing. Honestly, they have a teeny market share, but I'm not, I do have critiques of what they're doing, but I use them because I think for what I want to do, they're the best thing out there. The only way I could improve is like the only thing I want right now in a camera is I want a small body with an EVF, like I just talked about, and I want medium format. I want like the most high quality freaking image that I can get. That's what I want at this point in my life for the things that I want to do. I want the best of the best of the best. That's what I want. Hey Ben, how are you? How are you doing? Great to see you live. Greetings from Switzerland. Oh, hey, dude. Yeah, Switzerland. I want to go to Switzerland so bad. I'm doing great. Thank you, man. Rumors have been circulating about a new S9 having an EVF. I think it really needs it. The screen is small and not bright in South Florida sun. Yeah, I agree with you. I've seen those rumors too. I don't know. I don't know anything. Nobody tells me anything, but yeah, I hope that happens. It needs to happen sooner. And honestly, if it did, I think Lumix needs to do things like that. They need to look at the market and they need to adapt quickly. And they can, but they need to. The EVF and a small package is why all of us M43 shooters are desperate for an update to the Lumix GX. Yes, GX8 is still my favorite stills camera. I would love to see that in a Micro Four Thirds too, over a Fuji. Like, give me that. I have because the Micro Four Thirds, some of the small pancake lenses just give me a really high quality EVF. Yes, do that. I would love that, especially with real time LUT. Yes. You want to make Micro Four Thirds like an option again. You want to get people to buy into the system. Make that frickin' camera right now. I need my coffee's getting cold. OM System is finally about to drop another pen camera, maybe a new pen, but on Panasonic side, sounds like you want a new GX9, but an updated one. EMA is closest on Olympic OM side. I've used Olympic lenses, but I've never used an Olympus. Olympus lenses, but I've never used an Olympus camera. But they sure look cool, meaning aesthetically Olympus cameras look cool. I don't know what they're like image-wise or anything. I really like their lenses. I'd love to use an Olympus camera. Yeah, you're right. Maybe maybe I should look into that. I don't know. I mean, I got enough cameras. It's just like my S1 Mark II's got a cage all around it. It's really big and bulky. I just want something with an EVF this size I can tag around, and I don't have that right now. Yeah. I think we're going to wind this down here pretty soon. Does anyone have like, it's been almost an hour. Holy crap. Can I gab? Has this been useful? Should we do this again? Do you like this? Any last questions? Leave me a comment on my channel or something. Let me know what you think. Critique. What do you want to see more of? What can we do better? Should I continue this? Answer these questions for me. Help me with my life. I should have had like some kind of quote to read to take us out on something from one of these books. I mean, I could open them and read something, but we did that at the top. Yes, yes, and yes. Okay. Understood. You shared about your origin story, Alaska, working clubs, coming to LA. How was the sacrifice of being a freelancer and all the time spent away on location, away from family and friends affecting you? That's a good question. It's been very hard for the last 15 years. I spent a lot of time away. That's a great question. And I sacrificed a lot. I was away from my family, I was away from my friends, always worked on location, crazy places, 6 continents, Africa, South America, Alaska, all over. It's hard. It takes a toll. Now I'm still going to Alaska for this new job, but it's usually only like a week or so at a time. So sometimes it'll be a little more than that, but not much. And so it's good. It's like fine. A week's fine. I can do that, no problem. Um, but it was hard. It's been hard. It's been a hard life. Um, Blessed though, amazing. You know, like whatever path you take, right? There's sacrifices. Nothing's perfect. Nothing's ideal. Maybe you have a solid, stable 9 to 5 job with a good company, but you dream of like being able to travel and go to these places and just have some adventures and have some chaos in your life, but you don't. Okay. Yeah. I've had the chaos and the adventures. I've had the loneliness and I've had the missed experiences with families. All the things, all the things. Good question. I love your origin sessions. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to continue that in that I kind of took it through its natural conclusion. There's definitely a lot of stories. I'm really kind of like since I've kind of closed the door on my television career, I think. I mean, I still have people reach out. Really high up people in the industry have reached out since I started this new gig. Hey Ben, sorry, I'm currently um I'm currently engaged in a long-term project. So I don't know, I don't know if for some reason this thing doesn't work out and I have to go back to do that. But I don't really see that as happening. The whole industry's changed for everyone. But I definitely want to write a book at some point. There's a lot to talk about with my television career. Now that I'm not working in TV or trying to work in TV and entertainment like that, I see it differently. I have a different perspective. It's not all very positive, I have to say, which is unfortunate. It's some of it's great. Had amazing experiences, but I can see things for what they really were now in a different way, and a lot of it's not favorable, and that pains me a little bit. But I don't think I'm being inaccurate in my assessment. All I can say for now, do one of those again and see what feels stale. It's been fun, and thanks for accommodating Europe time zones. Yeah. Would it be possible to do live streams on jobs you do? No, it would not be possible at all. But thanks, that's a good question. I could live stream a photo shoot sometime. Maybe I could do that in a studio. That'd be kind of boring though, I think. I think it'd be kind of boring. But what if I just put up a camera and live streamed a photo shoot? Do people do that? I'm sure they must. I'm sure they must. I could probably put on a mic. Yeah, I mean, I could do that. That'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. I'm not even doing that many photo shoots. I haven't done any personal photo shoots in a long time, and I haven't done any professional photo shoots. It just hasn't been part of what I'm doing. I kind of want to do a personal portrait like series or big project. I just don't know what that is exactly. Exactly. I want to do something conceptual and dramatic and high end, medium format. I really want to actually. Anyways, Ben, this was super enjoyable. Thanks for being so open and willing to share. I love the stories. Okay, yeah, you got it. Camera specs are boring. Fuck yes, they are. Not sure you can ever make a living out of anything without some compromises. Yes, this is the wisdom. There's compromises in life. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Well, yeah, you can, but you can't have everything. You can't have it all, no matter who you are. Yeah, sounds awesome to me. Do it. Okay. I'm gonna log off, you guys. Thanks for joining me on this Sunday morning. Um, I really appreciate it. Thanks for showing up on the channel. I mean that every time I say it. Um, hey, at least for me, it's only, what is it, 9 o'clock? Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. So I got a whole day. I got some stuff to do. I actually have some work I got to do. So that's what we're going to do. All right. See y'all soon. There will be some videos coming. Oh yeah, here. Oh, you want it's at the very end? You want a sneak preview? There is this video coming in like a month about this new lens I've been using. It's sitting on my desk right there. It's a super dope lens. The more I use it, the more I really love it. Um, I'm gonna do the Helios book video. I just gotta figure that out. That's probably coming really soon. There's also another list of 10 things. I do those videos, and I actually outlined that this morning. I finished my outline of it, and it's gonna be 10 things you should do if you want to start shooting portraits. Which I know I've sort of touched on some of that stuff, but this one's a little different. And so I'm gonna do that. I just have to shoot it and edit it. Edit it. Those are coming up. And there's also some other things. I've got some other things planned, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. Man, I sure take up my sweet ass time saying goodbye, don't I? Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. Get out there and make something.